to another drive-in double feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before I get into anything at all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/drive-in double feature podcast. It's got some fun games, some fun conversations between two friends where we're just having a good old time right there. Just some fun bonus content. That's only $5 a month, and it doesn't affect any main show content whatsoever. But today, we are talking about 2013's Deadliest Prey, and that is directed by David A. Fryer.
One of the best.
And that, yeah, exactly. If this sounds familiar, like I said, this is a sequel to the movie Deadly Prey, which we have talked about a long time ago. Um, it's a story of, if you don't remember, it was a story of Mike Danton, who was out taking out the trash. He ends up getting kidnapped, taken toward like he's put into this deadly game where he's on this manhunt where he has to kill everybody to get out of there. And it's just a big schlocky type of action movie. And you know what? It's almost the exact same movie here.
They said we're doing the same thing. We're gonna do it all over again. It's a little different. They have some newer elements to spice it up.
Well, let me ask you, Nathan, how much of the other movie do you remember? Because I
Yeah.
watched Deadly Prey like a week before this one.
Oh, really? You rewatched it?
That's what made me pick Deadliest Prey, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember anything to the point where like you said the movie, and I was like, I don't remember that. Of course, now I remember it. It's the strong dude running in the woods wearing super short shorts. I remember little
hmm
bits of it, but overall, I don't remember really even liking the movie, and I think I've left it in the past.
I I thought we were I think I remember you, or at
Maybe
least we gave it like a decent review at the
let me
very,
see.
because
I think
I
maybe
think
I
we
was
had
like it was funny.
I think at the end of the day we had said that it's basically like a Rambo movie with no substance, is I think was what I had said. I remember, where it was basically just like it takes all the, like, if you thought like all the talking scenes with Rambo and the drama were like the boring parts and you just want to see Rambo just killing guys in the woods, like this is the movie for you.
Mhm. So I looked it up. I gave it a 3, and I said one of the funniest B movies you could watch. So many people die for absolutely no purpose or remorse. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
Um, Nate, I mean, there's some newer elements in here, like you said, but it is almost beat for beat the same movie
Yeah, yeah, because he gets kidnapped and he goes.
while he's taking out the trash.
Yep, yep, same deal. But they have to make it like all connect still. So there is a little bit of an intro to get it all started. But it is the same guy, right? That's kidnapped him to make him the deadly prey.
There's at least three returning actors for this movie.
Yeah.
So
Cameron
you
Mitchell.
got no, no, no,
Oh,
no. He's
oh,
dead.
damn.
Uh, yeah, he could. The guy Ted Pryor played Mike Danton, and the actor that plays Hogan, who was the main bad guy from the first movie, he's back as the main villain
Mhm.
in this one. And then I don't know if you remember, so there was the guy in this movie where he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and I'm not even like, I don't be too mean, because he's definitely much he definitely doesn't look like he's like this elite fighter. He looks like he's just like
No.
somebody's dad that showed up to the set or whatever.
Yeah,
He's
with
just like
really
he's a
bad
little
hair.
really bad hair. He looks like he's a little overweight,
hmm
but and he's got like these sunglasses on. That's the same actor from the first movie where he was like this big muscled up guy with like these sunglasses that he would wear. And they brought him back for this movie, the guy that plays Thornton,
hmm
because they were there, and they said like, oh, that was that character's brother, and he's like, oh yeah, like I'm him but better.
Yeah, and that's what I
Yeah,
assumed when I saw this character. I was like, okay, yeah, this is just the same actor as I didn't remember the character, but I was like, okay, they just brought this guy back. But I love
he,
that. It's
he
just like,
was he was the character from the first movie where at the end Mike Danton like scalped him and was like holding up like his hair like at the end of the movie.
yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so that character returns, and of course, all three of these dudes are old, but they are treated like they are like still like extremely handsome and young because Hogan, the main bad guy, has a woman waiting for him outside of the prison, and he treats her like complete garbage. But of course, like her character loves that. She's like, "Oh, I love it when you're mean to me." And like at one point, he like grabs her neck and is like, basically like, "Oh, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna have sex," and it's like. It's really aggressive. It's like a really weird power thing written into this movie.
Well, yeah, I think she's like kind of she loves abuse, but like she's clearly like a villain character, but
Yes, yeah.
she's very much into this whole power dynamic.
Yeah, which is wild. There's that whole scene where they're like where they sneak off to have sex that he's like, give us 15 minutes at least before you
At
interrupt
least,
me. And then he like
which
winks at the camera. He doesn't wink, but he like
yeah,
goes like, mm.
well, like I didn't know if he was doing that or like was he winking at the audience. So like the one aspect in this one that's different than the other one is that this is now a broadcasted game.
Yes,
So
live on the
before,
internet.
right. Before it was they're just they're training. It was like it was supposed to be like these military exercises to train these soldiers. But now it's now a live streamed event where people can tune in and watch these guys kill them. But
Mhm.
there's so many questions that pop up because of that. Like it's just like, okay, I guess murder is just now legal. Like you can just do that as as long as it's free. You know, like no, none of the authorities care about this at all.
Yeah, it's weird how they handle it because most movies that would be about like, oh, we're streaming like a Hunger Games death situation, it would be like, oh, I have to get on the dark web and put in some passwords to get this. This is like live on the internet
People are
and
watching
on
it in
TV.
bars.
Yeah, there's like the clips of people in bars just like, ooh, oh, like people are watching this horrible like people dying just on their TV in public.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's the main thing because Hogan gets right out of jail and he immediately wants revenge against Mike Danton. And I don't really know like what he wants revenge for, to be honest, because Mike Danton let him live. He let him
Hmm.
go. Like Mike Danton could easily have just killed him right then and there because Hogan was kind of like this sniveling coward at the end of Deadly Prey, where it's like, no, please don't kill me. And Mike Danton just says, run, like he's going to start his own deadly game, but he
Hmm.
lives, I guess, and goes to prison for a while. And they're like, we're specifically going to get Mike Danton, but the timeline is kind of iffy because he gets out of prison, and then I guess they're having like this deadly game still go on because they do kill a guy earlier in the movie, just like how they do in the first movie.
Yes, yeah. This movie has like an intro to get you excited for the rest of the movie, which it did do for me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And they do they do eventually go after Mike Danton, which he's married, he's got kids because remember his wife got murdered at the end of Deadly Prey.
Yeah, that's right. So this is his new wife. Great actress.
Oh yeah, everyone's just phenomenal. Do you want to go back to the female villain character in the movie that you pointed out? She is horrible in
It's
this.
so bad. And
Like,
like I love watching B movies like this that are obviously made like, okay, that shot was fine enough. There's so many instances of characters like stumbling over their lines. Like I think the wife does that's like, "Oh, you can go take out the trash." Like it's so and they just were like, "All right, that's fine. Let's move on."
yeah. Well, there's another point too where it's like these producers are
Oh my
there like
God.
to talk to Hogan, they're both like these foreign producers, and I don't know if like those guys legitimately like didn't understand English or what,
Hmm.
but like one of them is just he barely speak. Like he's just
Yeah, it's so
he is
funny.
stumbling over every English word he can, and like you said, they watch it like, all right, great, like sounds
Move on.
good.
And he's like, "Oh, we funded your movie $1 million." Like
Yeah.
it's really funny. And then the other guy just has to deal with it. But they're both really bad. Like everybody in this movie is like horrible. You can't complain that much because this movie's made for what, like $5. These are like no talent people, really.
Yeah. I mean, so this is the same director and this, like I said, the same main stars of the movie
Yeah.
before. So in theory, it should be looking the same, but comparing the two movies, it is a very stark contrast between them.
Okay.
Um, I mean, the story wise, they're almost beat for beat the same, but I think just the way that they're shot is because it's like it's the camera quality in this movie is very questionable.
Yeah.
It's like it's very clear they're like on some cheap camera, and they also like the shot, like the fight scenes in this movie are filmed so terribly because it's like these guys are much older now, and
Hmm.
like he's just not as slow. He's a lot slower than
Yeah.
he was when he was than he was when he was younger, and they're not hiding that fact at all. And I will say too, like that guy Thornton, the bigger dude, despite how he is older now, he actually does like I think he's like the most impressive fighter out of them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because the thing with Mike is it's the same move over and over again. Did you notice that? It's the same like arm kick
Yeah,
move. And that's all he does. That is like he might change it up every once in a while, but like the movie's set up that he just fights one guy after another, and it's either he throws a knife at him or he does the arm and kick move. And I agree,
yeah.
actually, now that I think about it, the other character is a bit more impressive with his moves.
I mean, at least that one, he does like a high kick, like his leg
Hmm.
comes like above his waist, and
Hmm.
he actually looks like he's had some type of training before.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the most impressive one. But I think the fight scenes in this one and some of the camera shots and the special effects are much lower quality, and that's obviously because it's probably like a budgetary thing where
Yeah.
I'm assuming they didn't like they probably had a much higher budget for Deadly Prey than they did this one, but um it's just a very like even like the sound effects in this movie just sound really cheap. Like, where guys will get shot or killed and they'll just be like, it just sounds like canned sound
Yeah,
effects.
I think it's the director actually. I saw at the beginning he edited this movie as well, and it feels like it. Like even like the text credits for like the opening credits and the closing credits, very stock. Like it feels like the most basic package that you could get from an editing, and the editing overall is just kind of like rough anyway. There's like these scenes of people watching the fights from like bars and stuff, and the way those are cut into the movie just are so jarring. It like is really poorly done. Um, yeah, and there's a green screen later when they're in a car, and like they have to duck for bullets coming at the car, and like their whole faces are like missing like from the green screen. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Um, this movie got me though right away when at the beginning of the movie when Mike is taking out the garbage
Hmm.
because before they when he's out taking the trash, like they knock him out and like it's like these group of soldiers just kind of like pick him up and throw him into the van and drive off with him.
Hmm.
And this one, he's taking out the trash and some guy that comes out and asks for directions, which that was the director, by the way. That was David A. Pryor in the car he
Okay.
was giving direction to. But he's just there's like nobody in the vicinity. And then like he just kind of like he like looks like to one way and then like he just gets sucker punched like out of nowhere just and I that was so funny to me because I was dying laughing
It's
because
so funny.
it just this punching sound effect where it's just like it's like oh And just because it was like totally out of nowhere. You didn't see it coming at
No.
all.
Well, the part that made me laugh about that is the guy giving directions. Whatever mic they have hooked up to him was horrible. The truck noise was running the whole time, so you couldn't hear him. And it's just like like the truck running, and then like he's like like you can barely hear him. I'm like, oh my god, they couldn't get him to like dub his line. He's literally editing the movie. Dub your own lines, damn it.
Oh, yeah, he could have easily just grabbed a microphone while he was editing and just did like the ADR right there.
Yeah, but no, I guess that was too much work. Um, yeah, the parts that got me though is the group of three gamers that are like so bored with their game that they have to find something interactive. Horrible acting. And I love that they don't show anything on their laptop screens. They talk about it. They're like talking about, oh, the map. If you look right here, we can go to this vicinity. They don't show the screens at all.
Point. What was the point of their characters? Like, what did they do?
I don't know. I was thinking that while I was watching the movie because these characters try to save him. I think they were there just to like have someone to babysit the kid. But while I'm watching this movie, that is the last thing I'm thinking about is Mike's child. I guess they
It,
drove him to kill the bad lady.
that's the only thing I could think of. Like, they gave him a ride.
Yeah, but I think it's so funny. This group of three that are like, yeah, we're gonna go save Mike, and they love him so much. And the girl of that group, her catchphrase is "True Dad."
Through that. Through
And she
that.
says it over, and I mean, like catchphrase. Every line is "True that," and I think she said "True business" at one point.
Yeah, she did. She said variations of it.
Yeah, and she's like obsessed with Mike, which Mike Danton is like this older guy, and she's sitting in the back of the car like, "Hey," and
I
like
said, hey, like,
winking at
hey,
him.
oh.
And I'm just like,
I,
what?
well, apparently a lot of these women like want to have sex with him because when he
Hmm.
arrives to the house, also same scene that happens in the original movie. He goes back to his house and he
Hmm.
finds out that his wife has been kidnapped. Same in this one.
Yeah,
And uh and then the villain lady is there in his house, same as the other one.
that's
And
right.
he's basically just like, oh, screw you. And she's like, now there's a good idea, but that'll have to wait for later.
Uh-huh. And then he shoots her dead in his own home, and his son walks in.
Yep.
And like which like I think first the girl walks in from the group of three and she no, it's the guy, that's right. And he's like, "Whoa, did you just kill that lady?" And that's it. And everybody else walks in, and you got to think about this dead body that's there. Mike Danton hugs his son, and you got to think
Yeah.
in the off space of the camera, there's just this dead body, this lady shot in the head, blood on the ground. It's very odd to think about.
Mhm. Um, the majority of this movie is just Mike Danton killing people. Like,
Yeah,
like it's there's scenes where people get shot, getting stabbed, and I'm just the people they got to play soldiers in here, they don't look like elite fighters or anything like that. It just looks like
no.
people they found at a bar, or people they found like
Hmm.
off the street.
You want to be in a
It
movie,
just looks,
sure.
yeah, I mean, the other one, at least, they look like these elite soldiers, they were at least, had some muscle, like looked like they were there to, like they could effectively like kill somebody. This one, it just looks like just some average guys, like they just pulled off the street type of thing. And there's the one character, like, so in the first movie too, he does find he does have like a friend that he like met like out when he was in the war. It's like, oh, what are you doing here? And the guy's like, gotta earn some money somehow, type of thing. And he they do that same plot point here again in this movie where he runs into like another guy that he's
That's
friends with.
right. So I thought that was like a character from like the last movie. It's not?
Completely different guy, not the
Okay.
same. Because the guy from the first movie, he dies, he gets
Hmm.
shot and gets killed. So this guy right here is just a completely different character, completely different actor. They put it in here just to have like that same plot point, just to have somebody like working from within.
Yeah, which is so odd that this movie is so obsessed with just doing the same thing again for its sequel. Like, I guess, like, what else are you gonna do with this movie?
I guess. I mean, I would have liked a little bit of like
Yeah,
variation
like a
because it's
twist
like
on it.
I mean, you could, I mean, obviously, yeah, put him in another death game. He's got to kill a bunch of people. Totally get that. Understand that point. But to the point where it's like his wife gets kidnapped, he's got a friend,
Hmm.
it just they do like the same story beats, and it's just like they could have done something really different here, or
Hmm.
had like a completely different villain, or had like just some other more interesting characters, but I think this was more so like they were coming in as like a nostalgia grab type of thing
I think
because
so.
this is done almost 30 years
Yeah.
um from the first one. So I think this was maybe not necessarily like they were trying to, you do something new or anything. They were just like, hey, you know what? Let's just do what we did before. People are gonna love it if they love the first movie. And that's just kind of what the angle they were going for.
Yeah. And you know what I'm surprised by? I when I went into this, I was expecting so when usually like these bad B movies come back, they're very tongue in cheek, kind of hokey stuff like that. And this movie doesn't really do that. I mean, it's funny like as a B movie, but you can tell that when they made this movie, they weren't really trying to be like, "Oh, I remember we made this bad movie." Instead, it was like, "Oh, no, we're just redoing what you guys loved so much."
To the movie's credit, I'm glad they went that
I agree.
direction
I agree.
because, like you said, there's so many times where they like they start like they make a sequel to something old and they kind of poke fun at it where they're like, it's like, oh my God, can you believe like we used to do this type of thing or
Yeah.
whatever? Like they do have one little nod to the first one where he's like in his house and he's like packing up all of his weapons and stuff, and you do see his little cut off shorts like
Okay.
in the closet there. So but that type of thing, that's a nice little silly nod, I think. But
Mhm.
I do agree. Sometimes they go in the wrong direction where they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna make this like funny
Mhm.
because it's like see how ridiculous this is.
Yeah, instead they kind of went with like, oh, this is for like fans of the movie, just like people that enjoyed the original. So
Hmm.
I can appreciate that. But I just it definitely was it repeated itself, and I just don't think it was as funny as the original with that. I think at a certain point, just watching this guy fight people and give one-liners, it just was tired. I think I was 30 minutes into this movie and I was like, how do they keep going? And they end up going, they keep going, but I feel like at some point it's just like it's unnecessary.
Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, the other one had like this weird type of charm to it, I feel
Yeah.
like, where it's just that you're kind of expecting something like this, but this one I felt it got kind of old after a
Mhm.
while where I would just I'd be watching this sort of thing where it's just a guy killing a bunch of different people. And yeah, for the first like 20 to 30 minutes, it's pretty entertaining, I would say.
Yeah.
But after a while, I mean, you see the same footage over and over again, and it's just like, okay, like you're showing me way too much killing. I need a little more substance here.
Mhm.
And didn't really give us any, but I mean, I don't really think that was the point of it, nor that's what they were trying to accomplish.
No, not at all. Like I think this movie was a quick, cheap movie to make, but it was just to get a group of people back together again to maybe relive the glory days a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, like I said before, I mean, if you love people getting killed in a bunch of different ways, I mean, it's not even a bunch of different ways. It's kind of the same for a lot of them, but
Yeah,
there's definitely some silly moments in here that I enjoyed, but not enough to keep me engaged the whole time.
true that.
True that
True that.
indeed. Um, but I think that's going to do it for this one. So, Nathan, what do we need to talk about next week?
All right, Ryan. So we finished up the Saw series, which was the second series. No, we did Bond, and then we moved. Did we move to what did we move to after Bond?
Did we do something after Bond?
Oh no, did we go from Bond into Saw?
I think so.
Holy crap, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, we have moved through multiple movie series. But it's time to end up on something a little different. So I want to do a series, but we're gonna do it based on a director. We're gonna talk about one of my all-time favorite directors, John Carpenter. Really famous horror director, but also directed a whole bunch of different stuff, which I'm happy to cover. We're not going to start from the first movie, which is Dark Star, just because we actually covered that a long time ago. It was one of our first 10 episodes on this podcast. I think it's actually maybe one of our first 5 episodes. So if you're interested in hearing that, go back to that one. But we are going to start this series off with Assault on Precinct 13, which is streaming a whole bunch of places like Tubi and Prime Video.
Terrific. Cannot wait for that one.
Awesome. But Ryan, where are we going next with Godzilla?
Nathan, we are going to be continuing the Millennium series of Godzilla with Godzilla versus Megaguirus, and that is streaming on Tubi for free.
Awesome. Easy peasy. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast. And once again, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/drive-in-double-feature podcast. But until next time.
Until next time.